The war in Ukraine has now completed 6 months. During this time, the United Nations has discussed it multiple times. Members have tried passing resolutions against Russia, and each time India did the same thing. It abstained from voting. India was neither with Russia nor with the West. But on Wednesday, that changed. For the first time, India voted against Russia at the UN Security Council. How did that happen? Has India broken its policy of neutrality? To answer these questions, we need context. Wednesday's meeting was supposed to take stock of the developments in Ukraine to see how the war is unfolding. So the Council wanted to invite Ukraine's President, Volodymyr Zelensky. Just one problem. Zelensky is leading the war efforts in Ukraine. He could only address the Council via video link, but Russia opposed this. Listen to what their delegate said at the UNSC, and I'm quoting, "Russia objects to the virtual participation of the Ukrainian President in today's meeting. He should participate in person, that is, be physically present in the Security Council chamber. There is no politics involved here. It is purely a procedural issue." As far as objections go, it's quite a weak one. Russia had no problem with inviting Zelensky. They just wanted him to attend the council in person. Now, this triggered a procedural vote. All 15 members could decide whether to let Zelensky attend virtually or not. 13 members, including India, voted against Russia. They wanted to let Zelensky attend. Russia naturally voted to block President Zelensky, while China abstained. Now, this was a procedural vote. It was not a resolution, which means the veto power does not even apply. So despite Russia's opposition, the vote was passed, and Ukraine's President Zelensky did attend the council virtually. He also addressed its members. Now for the important question. Does this imply a change in India's official policy? Was this a vote against Russia? India's Foreign Ministry spokesperson was asked about this earlier today. This was his response.
We have not voted against anybody. It was a proposal to allow him to vote. To speak virtually, and we supported it. I think this was the third occasion that he spoke virtually. There have been 2 occasions in the past where he spoke virtually, and we supported that. So there's no question of us voting against Russia in any way.
Clearly, India is trying to downplay it, and frankly, it makes sense. Wednesday's vote was not about politics or positions. It was about procedure, basic decency, to be honest, which was not the case with the other resolutions. All the previous votes were explicitly against Russia. They were aimed at criticizing or condemning Russia, so India abstained. And remember, all those votes were triggered by the West, not this one. Wednesday's vote was triggered by Russia. It was explicitly against Ukraine, so abstaining or siding with Russia was not an option. Because doing that would mean condemning Ukraine. It would deny Zelensky a basic right to address the House. So to answer my first question, no, India's neutrality has not changed. In fact, this vote reaffirms India's position as a responsible and rational power. Let me quote what India's envoy said. India's approach will promote dialogue and diplomacy with an overarching aim to end the conflict and work with our partners to mitigate economic challenges. We continue to reiterate that the global order is anchored on international law, UN Charter, and respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity of states. Sums up the policy. Western countries have questioned India's abstentions at the UN. Their experts have called India unprincipled. Well, this should answer all of them. Picking sides was never the intention. If it were, India would not have voted against Russia on Wednesday. The objective is to resolve the crisis, not to make it worse. And to that end, India is sending more humanitarian aid to Ukraine, the 12th consignment since the war broke out. It includes 26 different types of medicines. Tells you what India's priorities are: ending the conflict without burning bridges. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.